Hello and welcome to the Dragon Cave, which is, yes, still under construction, getting organized, but one thing at a time, one day at a time. So, where have I been? Because I do know it's been several months since I've made some long form content. I'm sure because I just finished editing a May book haul and it's now August the 5th. Whoops. But if you have been following along on my community posts, you do know that there has been a whole lot of life going on here. And thankfully now things have settled down for the most part. So, yes, Panther is doing well. Bob is doing well. I'm getting there. Part of it has been medication changes for pain, and one did not go well at all. So we've had to find something else, and fingers crossed that one works because the other one was definitely not a good time at all and no pain relief. So it was just a whole boondoggle, but it's done, it's over, and we're moving forward from here. So, besides all the life stuff, again, and I've mentioned in my posts, been sharing pictures, we'd gone through a very brutal winter, even for, yes, the true north, Canada. So it was a lot of indoor time and shoveling and all of that. And then that was followed up by whatever the crikey these next 2 seasons have been. We've gone from extreme hot to extreme cold, back and forth. Some of my plants that were 3, 4, 5 feet high last year, barely that, and already have flowered and gone to seed. It's just been a mess, and that in turn means, although having looked forward to getting outside and you know all of that, it's again been indoor time because it's either been too cold and you have to bundle up. It's been raining, so it's not the time to be out doing yard work. It's just been a boondoggle. But thank goodness I'm a reader. And yes, I've got my one bookcase here. If you've seen some of my bookcase videos, I have a bunch of books out in the living room. So I've definitely had lots of reading completed. I also haven't participated in any book events this year. They're a great way to enjoy similar reads with a group of people, get to know other people. So I do recommend joining up with those as they happen. This year, because I've got so many different reading projects and things on the go, one, my reading just didn't fit with when the events were coming up. And two, I'm a mood reader. And so when I want to read something, I want to read it now. I don't want to wait for 3 or 4 months. So this year I didn't do that. Next year I may get back to participating. We'll just have to wait and see what the next few months bring and where my reading gets worked out. And I'm just checking my notes to make sure that I cover the various points because, like I say, it's been a while since I've done this. So, as far as the channel, all the plans that I mentioned much earlier this year are still on track. This way, there are still 3 more weeks that I need to put up, and then a summary episode of the project and what Julia Cameron has in the afterword. Let me know in the comments down below if you'd been following along with them. I did mention that with this particular series, unlike the listening path, you really do need to get a copy of The Artist's Way to work through it and pick all the different exercises that would work for you. I've been reading and doing a few exercises, but I also did mention in my Startup with the Artist's Way, sometimes life happens and you need to put something aside. Since I believe in do as I'm doing, not that whole do as I say crap. Yes, I did have to put it aside for a while, and I'm getting back to it. I know Julia Cameron has the contract, stick with it for 12 weeks straight. Makes a lot of sense. I did do it that way in the past, but this year, as many people can say, it's been a boondoggle for a multitude of reasons, personal, global, all of it. So focus on doing the best you can every day and don't be doing that whole guilt other people's expectations thing. So those will be going up on Mondays again. And like I say, there's just 4 more to finish that series. I haven't decided yet if I'm moving on to the Finding Water or Walking in This World. Each of those are also 12-week programs. I haven't done them before, so I may, after I get a few more of the exercises completed, move on to that. I'm also going to be continuing with the Vampire and Outside the Box series. I've got lots of plans, lots of notes. I just have to pull them together, get the recording done, and then decide what I'm going to do in terms of uploading. And I'm really leaning towards every other week, just to not overwhelm myself and make sure it's something I can keep up with. So 1 week will likely be vampires, the other will be outside of the box things, cryptids, UFOs, paranormal, and then flipping back and forth that way. I have a bunch of tags that I need to catch up on. Thank you so much to everyone who's been tagging me in videos. I really do appreciate it. And now I need to go through, figure out all the mentions, and get that recording started. The nature and cat videos, because I've also started shorts recently. Thank you to everyone who's been watching and commenting. And I think the nature and the cats will stay as shorts because they're sweet, quick, easy to do. I will also be doing a few compilations because, let's face it, Tiki can do a lot of goofy things. And so I'll do some compilations in terms of the nature clips, the cat clips, and put those up as I pull those together. I'll still be doing book reviews. I may do 1 a week, as I showed in my one community post. I have a huge basket of books that I finished that I need to talk about. So those will be coming in the near future as well. One I'm very excited to talk about is The Brown Yelp Gang by Gareth Howells. Such a fun reread. It was a great time out in space, this wonderful musical band, and all the shenanigans and adventures they'd gotten up to. So that will be coming very soon. The lives will be returning. I'm not sure if I'm going to stick with the Thursday afternoons or move to Fridays. So I'm still working that out. You can let me know in the comments down below whether a Thursday, Friday is an easier watch for you. I haven't decided on the time for those yet either. And I also am planning to do productivity sprints. So whether you're reading, doing some crafts, I'll likely be doing notes for the various books and projects I'm working on. I may even do some coloring during them. It's just going to depend on what time I have them up and what I feel like doing that day. Not sure when those are coming back yet, but again, they should be before the end of August, provided the universe doesn't decide to throw us another curveball. Then, as I said, I've been reading at the moment, and I just started a reread of Jurassic Park. I'm doing this as a buddy read this time with Jessica from On a Stack of Books. As you can tell, I've got my tags from the first time. Yes, I just read it in early July. It's now early August, and I really am looking forward to the reread because there's quite a bit of information in this in terms of the science and the way Crichton explains everything. I very much enjoyed the read, and I'm really looking forward to now being able to do that and chat with someone. So I've been off to Costa Rica. I've been hanging out in Chicago with Harry Dresden. I'm up to Ghost Story, which I think is book 13. I could be wrong. I wish that, like Wheel of Time, they actually put on the front of the book what book it is in the series. I'm also ticked off because I just finished watching the Dresden Files. That was in 2007, only 12 episodes, and yet one of my books has that dumb sticker that you can't pull off about the TV show. Talk about ruin a beautiful piece of artwork for some lame-o sticker. But be that as it may, so yes, I'm hoping to finish Dresden before December. I have, I think, 2, possibly 3 more books myself that I own. Found most of them at my thrift store. And then my library has the other ones that I can read and finish that series. I've just started The Crystal Cave by Mary Stewart. Love Merlin, King Arthur. It's something I've enjoyed reading about for a long time. And I've just gotten started with this. There are 3 books in the series. The really funny thing is, I realized as I was starting to read this, I picked up The Wicked Day, also by Mary Stewart, and that's the book about Mordred, Arthur's son. So I'm going to finish the trilogy first and then read The Wicked Day. Again, hoping to have that done by the end of December. I've been hanging out in the Carpathians. Interesting series of books. If you've been here for a bit, you know I'm not big on the romance, but I do enjoy Christine Feehan's writing. Although it's romance, there are a few spicy pages, but definitely not like that ACOTAR pages and pages and pages. There's a few parts to it. I'll talk more about this series in an upcoming video. But if you enjoy vampires, you don't want a ton of spice in your books. It is very interesting. I've enjoyed it. So thank you so much for that, Christine Feehan. I went to a galaxy far, far away for a revisit. I read this when it first came out. I saw the movie in the theaters. Yes, when it first came out. I still enjoy it. I mean, Luke, Han, Leia. So sad that Carrie Fisher's no longer with us, but I very much enjoyed revisiting Star Wars, all those characters, and that story. I also read The Force Awakens. found both of these at my local thrift store, and it was a perfect read as we start with Luke's journey, and in Force Awakens we start with Rey. So I'll be talking about that in an upcoming video. Then I traveled with Ruth Montgomery, A World Beyond, as in the spiritual world, and her discussions with Arthur Ford. I'll definitely be talking more about this along with Billy Fingers, because there's a lot of interesting stuff about the way those two books present the afterlife. I did read Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. I found Haymitch an interesting character in the Hunger series. Yes, I did read all 3 books a couple years ago. I passed the one about Snow because I don't care. He interests me not in the least, but I did want to know about Haymitch's backstory. I'll be doing a review of this book in the near future, along with talking about the Hunger Games. But if you did enjoy the Hunger Games and you did find Haymitch to be an interesting character, I do recommend picking up Sunrise on the Reaping. Because I do love ancient Egypt, nonfiction, fiction, you put it in a book, I'm there for it. This is by Paul Doherty, The Anubis Slayings. I really enjoyed this. I've never read anything by Paul Doherty before. I found this book and another book about ancient Egypt at my local thrift store, oddly in the $1 section, but yay for me. I enjoyed this detective story very much. It was a fun read. It'll be a fun revisit down the road. The other book that I have by Paul Doherty is actually a nonfiction about ancient Egypt and Tutankhamun. So I'm looking forward to that read as well. I also picked up another Kathy Reichs. This is Fire and Bones. So I was between, actually I think in this one she just stays in the United States and just makes reference to her partner in Canada. This, of course, is a Temperance Brennan novel, and I'll be talking more about that and comparing Temperance with Jessica, with our, and another one comparing Temperance and our detective in The Anubis Slayings. So I've been traveling around. I've been to Costa Rica, ancient Egypt, out in the spiritual world, a galaxy far, far away. I've been to the Carpathian Mountains in Romania. I've been way in the past, hung out in Chicago. I've been traveling around. Let me know in the comments down below. Have you been reading? Because I do know from watching some of the videos, there's a lot of people who have been having reading slumps. My reading has been better this year than it has in a few years, but I did hit a recording slump. Partly because there was just so many other things, and that whole trying to sit and be upbeat and cheery, I just couldn't do it. Like I say, that one change, things got uber dark, and I couldn't pull it off. So thankfully, I'm back to feeling more like myself. I wish I could say pain-free, but I live with chronic pain, so it is what it is. As long as I can do things, enjoy my day, and stay somewhat active, I'm going to take that as a win. Thing that I did want to mention, and part of why I haven't been recording, are all the changes on YouTube. I'm not sure what's going on. There have been a whole lot of different things happening, not just in terms of lower views that have been happening, big channels, small channels. I mean, granted, I'm not Mr. Beast, and losing tens of thousands of views, but it can still be disheartening if you've spent a lot of time making a video and you're quite excited about it, whether it's the information or different things you've added, and then it just sits there. But I mean, when you consider there are 20 million videos that go up every day on YouTube, hey, I figure any views I get are a win because that's a lot of competition and you can't get caught up in stressing about that. So I'll continue to put up what I enjoy, what I hope other people are interested in listening to and watching, and we'll see where this next chapter ends up taking us. I'll be starting slowly again. I'm definitely not going to be having 5 videos a week. It's just too much between trying to keep up with reading and doing other things. There may be 2 or 3, some weeks there may be more. Like I said, I'm still trying to work out the schedule and how much I can keep up with. Thank you so much to everyone who has been staying, who has been waiting. Thank you so much to everyone who has sent out the check-ins and how are you doing and kept in touch. It's been very much appreciated and definitely helped through all those challenging times. I think that takes care of everything for now. I've been babbling for a little bit. If you've been here before, babbling is what I do. And until next time, remember, be safe, be well, and big hugs.